Please give it up for the amazing Tadhg Hickey.
Hey guys, how's it going? So I was talking to my counsellor, about maybe getting into comedy, doing a bit of this stuff actually, and she had a bit of advice for me. What way she put it now again? She's a pure character. Like, she goes, what did she say again? Oh yeah. She goes, don't. She said, you're actually the most depressing person I've ever met in my whole life. She's brilliant with me. She said, I'm actually in rakes of counselling on account of counselling you. And the cherry on the cake now, she was saying, was that her own counsellor was seen in Cork City Centre there during the week, just in absolute bits after getting the mads. So she's next for the counsellor's couch now, apparently. The way my counsellor put it, actually, in her own inimitable way, was that she said to me, you've actually created an infinite regress of counsellors being counselled, which may never end. Which I thought was a lovely thing to say, because it's hard enough to get a compliment from anywhere these days, let alone from a dear, dear friend. That never gets a no. It's a hot day. So look, as I'm up here, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. From the time I was very young, there was only one thing really I wanted to be, one ambition, one goal, and that was to be an alcoholic. My dad was an alcoholic. My mum, character. Aunts, uncles, grandparents, both sides, my two brothers, do you know what's funny actually with girls, isn't it? You'd never know exactly how many of them are around at any given time. You wouldn't. I'm no fucking fool now, but with regards to my sisters, I know I had some. But to put a figure on it, I don't want to be plucking one out of the sky every day. I don't want to be wasting your time. I know anyway, they're all big boozers. And they're all bloody The only member of my family actually who didn't drink was Damien, the family dog. And sadly, Damien suffered from depression. So he was on a veritable smorgasbord of medication for that all nuisance of a thing. So the rest of them anyway, though, lads, they were all big boozers and they were all bloody characters, I remember going down the garden to them, I was just a little young fella, and they'd all be there, aunts, uncles, grandparents, both sides. This would be the middle of winter now, and there would just be cans everywhere. Bottles of whiskey, cans, they were just having a gala 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Party on, not taking life too seriously. And can you imagine me now as an innocent little child looking at that? Very attractive. Very, very attractive. I'm kind of looking at that going, okay, here's a noble path. Here's a life. Now, I won't sugarcoat it. There were downsides. You could get a tin of harping to the back of the head. My uncle was blue murder for firing tins around the garden, fend for yourself. He'd scream at me, just trying to encourage me, And he had a point. It was time for me to ship up or shape off. Really, at this juncture, at that stage, I would have been, 5? I suppose one day kind of epitomises it for me, my old communion day, I was dressed from head to toe in a suit from St. Vincent de Paul. And super pumped now, really looking forward to showing my mum, So I potted down the garden, see her anyway. She was just lying down on the ground, locked, Party on! Grass all over her face, So I just goes, Mum, are you proud of me? Look, I made my old communion there today, do I look nice? Am I your special little soldier, do I look nice? Talk about a character now, lads. I will never forget what she said to me, She just cocked one eye open, grass all over her face. One eye open, just looked at me, she just goes, who are you? Who are you, What a character, she knew well who I was. She knew well who I was. In spite of the alcoholism, in spite of the very near wet brain state that she was in at this juncture, she knew at the end of the day that she had 3 boys and some girls. People often say to me, did it affect you? Did your childhood affect you? I'm actually fucking grand. I'm actually grand. Alright, I know this is kind of pure nitpicking stuff now, but there would be a kind of oh my god, I can't take this anymore loneliness. And a kind of what would you say, Auschwitzian hopelessness. Would kind of just pitter-patter creep across my soul, alright, the odd time. Other than that, I'm grand. And there's just so many ways around the loneliness. One tactic I'll employ there is I'll just book myself into a hostel. I'm from Cork, I've never left Cork, nor would I ever want to leave because it's brilliant here. But I books myself into Sheila's hostel there above, get a couple of slabs of cans, take the bloody edge off, do you know? Wake up in the morning, turn to the Australian lad to your left, maybe the American girl to your right, map of Cork in the hand, like, oh, hey lads, what are we up to today? They'd be like, I'll be like, will we go down to Blarney Castle? We have a bit of crack, what do we do, lads? They'd be like, oh, hey lad, not sure what we're up to, but you urgently need to get to a psychiatrist anyway. You've been up all night crying. And we've never seen anyone drink so many cans. And I'd be like, oh yeah, nice one lads. Psh. Banter, like, chum chatter, like, they're just trying to encourage me. Another little tactic I have as well is, like, I'll just walk up to two people, say, no, like a couple or whatever, on Partick Street, say, maybe today, whatever. Maybe it happened today, I don't know, like, I'm not really going into it, but, like, I'll just walk up behind two people and they'll just be chatting away amongst themselves and I'll just go behind them and I'll just go, huh? They'll be like, huh? And I'm like, huh? Your man's like, do you know him? She's like, do we come down with him? Do you know, just spread kind of confusion, like, you might get 10, 15 minutes out of it, do you know? And people maybe across the road will be like, oh, there's just three buddies chatting amongst themselves. Like, it even looks that way to me at times, like, you know. And then eventually, all right, like, they'll go, come here, man, we're not with you at all, are we? And I'm like, no. And they'll be like, you're a head ball, yeah? And I'm like, guilty as charged, but listen, thanks for the chat. And they'd be like, not a bother, boy, listen, take care of yourself. And I go, cheers, lads. I'll go up to the next fella, like, I'll go, ha, and he'll go, fuck off. Do you know? If you don't buy a ticket, as they say. That's all for me, guys. Thanks for being such a delicious audience. I'd just like to say very, very well done to all the comics tonight, particularly the new guys. You were absolutely fucking great, and stick with it and enjoy the rest of your night. Cheers.
Tadhg, Hickey, everyone!